Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where edutainment is what I do. Okay. Halloween week, rounding out your Halloween week of chills and thrills and recommended stuff, everything from action figures to movies to stories. Halloween is a celebration, a pagan celebration, but a celebration nonetheless. Now, what I want to talk about is a movie that I would recommend for Halloween. And no, it's not Halloween. It is actually a really, really good science fiction horror movie. It might be considered cheesy by today's standards as far as the effects, but the level of suspense and shock in that movie, I think, still holds its value. The movie I am talking about, of course, is The Thing. Now, there are, well, actually three versions of the movie called The Thing. There's one made in 2011, which is actually the prequel to the 1982 version. And then there is the original, which was made in 1951. The one I am speaking of is the 1982 version, which stars Kurt Russell, because back in the 80s, everything starred Kurt Russell. Also in it was T.K. Carter and a young Keith David, or is it David Keith? The voice of Spawn. The one-legged guy in Dead Presidents. The preacher on many shows. He's got that really deep, raspy voice. He's got a really cool voice. I like his voice. He was also in They Live, one of the greatest fight scenes I have ever seen in a movie, between Roddy Piper and Keith David. Love that fight scene in They Live. If you haven't seen They Live, you should go see that. You should check out They Live too. Also done by the director of The Thing, John Carpenter. Back in the 70s and the 80s, John Carpenter had some really cool movies in general. And in a lot of those movies, Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China, and of course, the one we're talking about, The Thing. The Thing is a horror movie that is set in Antarctica, and there is a deep expedition crew in Antarctica. And they see this dog being chased by a helicopter, and these guys are trying to shoot this dog. Bottom line boils down to this alien creature that can assimilate the shape of any living being it comes in contact with. But in order to be able to assimilate that being and take their shape, they have to first absorb them. And this absorption process is horrific looking. And back in 1982, a lot of those special effects, I believe they were done by Stan Whitlock. And he was really popular back in the 80s for doing, special effects on movies. And at the time, those special effects were cutting edge. Fast forward to 2022, 40-something years later, 40 years exactly, that those special effects are not going to hold their value. But the suspense factor, the build up, the basic scary prospect of the movie itself, I believe, still holds its value. And along with a creepy musical score that's done also by John Carpenter, really helps to put this movie in a place, not necessarily a horror classic, but definitely a science fiction classic. I give y'all a little taste of the scenes, one of the scenes in this movie. This clip comes to us courtesy from Screen Bites. If Screen Bites is mad at me using this, let me know. But can I have permission to use it? There, I ask permission. If we don't get to see it, then we don't get to see it. But if we don't get to see it, I'll do a follow-up video and I'll break this video down to you. But check this shit out.
Clear. Clear.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Woo! Now imagine, if you will, those effects, but better. So, I mean, imagine yourself being a teenage kid in 1982 and watching some stuff like that for the first time. You're like, damn, you know? But the premise of the thing comes from a book, I think, that was made in the 1940s. It was a science fiction novel called Who Goes There? And it was featured in like a science fiction anthology. What the story boils down to is they bring this dog back. The dog absorbs other dogs. And the guy that's close, one of the guys that's been around the dog attacks him, assimilates him, and then he in turn assimilates other people. And one by one, everybody either starts dying or they come up missing. So when people think MacReady's character, Kurt Russell's character's name is MacReady. When people think MacReady is an alien, they want to cut him loose out in the snow. I don't know if you've ever been anywhere in the snow, and when it's blizzarding real bad, you need lines, okay? Because you literally cannot see in front of you, and you need lines that you have to hold on to. Folks that done been up on the North Slope on Alaska, that worked on the North Slope, they know about this. You have to have a line that you follow that takes you from building to building to where you get to, if you gotta be going somewhere after dark. But anyway, one of the cats cut MacReady loose from his line, but he still managed to get back somehow. Back in the days before we started questioning the plausibility of stuff in movies. But anyway, he come back with a flamethrower. My man got a flamethrower, and he like, I'll burn all of y'all up if y'all touch me. And got the idea from that scene that was just shown to test everybody's blood, because every part of this organism is alive. So you put something hot on blood, blood isn't going to jump out. Alien, however, you put blood, you touch his blood with something hot, it don't know no better. It's going to jump out. It's going to try to escape. And that's basically what ended up happening. And then one of the guys kills like a couple more people. But the bottom line, end of the story, they have to decimate this place. And so they're stuck out in Antarctica at the end. Keith David and Kurt Russell, they're the last ones left. Everybody else is dead. And then they got to blow this alien up. So I don't know. It was kind of a morbid ending. But if it's supposed to be a horror movie, doesn't that make it that much better? I enjoy The Thing. I've enjoyed The Thing every time, that I've watched it. You know what I'm saying? My wife say the music bothers her because she thinks it's creepy sounding, and it is creepy sounding. And the movie is pretty creepy if you think about it in retrospect. And I think the tagline back in the day, like in movies, how they have like little taglines and stuff like that. The tagline for this movie was, humans are the warmest place to hide. Ooh, that sounds creepy. But if you've never seen The Thing before, I highly recommend The Thing. If you have seen The Thing, I highly recommend you add it to your like Halloween watch list. If you're one of those people that likes to watch scary movies or spook fests or creep fests or stuff like that around Halloween time, it's a good hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. Gets to the point, gets things done. It's a good movie. But like I said, if you've seen it, drop me a comment. And as always, I will be coming at you with another one of those other ones. And until I do, yo, good and be good to